Welcome back to the Coins Numismatic series, where each coin has a story worth telling, and today's journey takes us into the heart of American history. Picture this, it's the year 1976. The United States is celebrating its bicentennial, the 200th anniversary of the Declaration of Independence. Patriotism runs high. Fireworks light up the skies. Citizens are reflecting on to centuries of freedom and democracy. Amidst the festivities, coins are being minted, millions of them, but one in particular quietly finds its place in pocket change, destined to become a hidden gem for collectors, the 1976 Lincoln penny with the Denver mint mark. At first glance, it might seem like just another 1-cent piece, but this coin, in fine condition, carries with it not only the legacy of Abraham Lincoln, but also a slice of a monumental American milestone. The obverse, designed by Victor David Brenner, has remained virtually unchanged since its 1909 debut, but in the year of the bicentennial, its symbolism feels deeper. Lincoln, the great preserver of the Union, is now commemorated on a coin circulating at the very moment the nation he once held together is celebrating its 200th birthday. This penny features Lincoln's classic right-facing profile, sharply defined even in fine condition, with the inscriptions "In God We Trust" arching above his head, "Liberty" to his left, and the date 1976 flanked by the bold D mint mark to his right. The reverse, designed by Frank Gasparo, displays the Lincoln Memorial, complete with the tiny statue of Lincoln visible between the columns, a tribute within a tribute. Surrounding it are the inscriptions "United States of America" and "E Pluribus Unum," above and centered, with 1 cent prominently at the bottom. Now, when it comes to mintage, the 19760 Lincoln penny was far from rare in terms of how many were struck. The Denver Mint produced a staggering 4 billion to 121,592,455 pennies that year. That's over 4.2 billion coins, an enormous number. However, high mintage doesn't automatically mean low value. What transforms this coin into a collectible piece isn't just quantity, it's condition, historical context, and the ever-intriguing world of minting errors. In fine condition, the 19760 penny can fetch more than its face value, usually ranging from 10 cents to over $1, depending on the quality of the strike, the luster, and the absence of post-mint damage. But certain examples in higher grades, say, mint state MS65 or above, can command prices upwards of $10 to $50 or more, particularly when they are certified by professional grading services like PCGS or NGC. For coin roll hunters and estate sale explorers, finding a well-preserved 19760 can be a satisfying reward. What truly spices up the collector's chase, though, are the known errors and varieties from this mintage year. One of the most popular errors includes off-center strikes, where the design is misaligned due to improper feeding of the coin blank into the press. These can vary in value based on the degree of the off-centering and whether the date and mint mark are fully visible. Another variety that excites collectors is the double die obverse, though rare for this year. If doubling is found in the lettering or Lincoln's features, it could be worth hundreds. Additionally, die cracks and cuts caused by worn or damaged dies are sometimes seen in this series. While minor cracks might not command high premiums, larger, more dramatic cuts can increase the coin's desirability. The so-called B error, where a die chip appears between the B and E of Liberty, forming what looks like an additional letter I, also makes the 19760 penny especially fun for variety hunters. So, what drives interest in the 1976 Lincoln penny? First, it's the nostalgia factor. Collectors who grew up in the 70s often begin their numismatic journeys by collecting coins from their birth years or significant moments in U.S. history. The bicentennial year is hugely symbolic, and even though the penny did not get a special design like the quarter, half dollar, and dollar coins did, it still holds significance as part of the greater patriotic celebration. Second, there's its accessibility. Many 1976 pennies remain in circulation, and with the right tools and a little patience, collectors can still find examples in excellent condition. It's one of those coins that bridges the gap between everyday currency and historical artifact, and that accessibility adds to its charm. It's a coin for everyone from novices to advanced collectors. Finally, for registry collectors aiming to complete a high-grade Lincoln cent collection, the 1976 becomes more than just another date, and mint market becomes a target. In mint state red road condition, this coin competes in auction houses and online marketplaces. While not a key date, its demand increases in the upper grade thresholds, especially those graded MS67 and above, where population numbers sharply decline. So next time you're sorting through change or thumbing through an old coin album, keep your eyes peeled for the 19760 Lincoln penny. This little copper gem, minted in a year of national celebration, continues to tell a story of a president, a minting legacy, and a country proud of its past and hopeful for its future. Let's turn the page to another fascinating chapter in the Lincoln cent series, the 1980 to D Lincoln penny. This coin is more than just a 1 cent piece. It's a symbol of transformation, literally. If the 1970 D penny tells a story of national pride, the 1980 to D penny speaks of economic pragmatism and metallurgical change. By 1982, inflation had pushed the cost of producing a penny dangerously close to its face value. Up to that point, Lincoln cents had been composed primarily of 95% copper and 5% zinc. But with copper prices soaring, the U.S. Mint made a bold move. It transitioned mid-year from the traditional bronze composition to a copper-plated zinc core. That's right, there are two different metallic compositions for 1980 to Lincoln pennies. And that's where things get exciting for collectors. The obverse of the 1980 to D penny features the familiar profile of Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner, still dignified and instantly recognizable. The inscriptions "In God We Trust," "Liberty," and the date 1980 to flank his image, with the D Mint mark signifying production at the Denver Mint. But beyond the design lies a tale of 2 metals and 7 known varieties. Yes, you heard that right. There are 7 distinct 1980 to Lincoln cent varieties. These include Asterisk 1982 large date copper, Asterisk 1982 small date copper, Asterisk 1982 large date zinc, Asterisk 1982 small date zinc, Asterisk 1980 to D large date copper, Asterisk 198 to D large date zinc, Asterisk 198 to D small date zinc. No known copper small date Denver examples exist. Most 1980 to D pennies are the large date variety, and in fine condition, they can be easily found. However, what makes the 198 to D coin particularly intriguing is the possibility of finding a transitional error. In 2016, a remarkable discovery stunned the numismatic community: a 1980 to D small date copper penny. This was previously thought to be non-existent. Only a couple have been confirmed to date, and they have sold for over $10,000. That's right from pocket change to a 5-figure windfall, all hinging on a tiny difference in date font and metal composition. To tell the difference between copper and zinc 1982 pennies, weight is the key. Copper pennies weigh 3.11 grams, while the newer zinc versions weigh 2.5 grams. Collectors often use precision digital scales to sort through 1982 pennies in search of the elusive transitional varieties. For coin enthusiasts, it's a thrilling treasure hunt, each 1980 to D penny a potential jackpot in disguise. The Denver Mint produced 6,012,979,368 pennies in 1982, a massive output. However, only a fraction are in uncirculated or high-grade condition today. Circulated 198 to D pennies in fine condition typically hold modest value, about 1 to 5 cents, depending on where. But when you step into the realm of mint state, especially MS66 and above, values begin to rise significantly. A certified MS67 example with full red luster can fetch $100 or more, particularly when submitted to third-party grading services. Errors and varieties also enrich the collecting experience for this coin. Aside from the aforementioned small date copper discovery, collectors search for die cracks, off-center strikes, broad strikes, and repunched mint marks, RP-Ms. One particularly desirable error is the double die reverse, though it is more commonly found on the Philadelphia issues. The 1980 to D penny continues to attract collectors because it straddles the line between old and new, between copper and zinc, tradition and innovation. It's a pivot point in U.S. coinage history. This coin marks the final chapter of copper dominance cents, and for that reason, it remains a touchstone for those who appreciate the narrative behind American money. Interest in this coin has only grown over time. Young collectors are drawn to the variety and potential hidden treasures. Veterans of the hobby appreciate the complexities of the composition shift and the thrill of hunting for elusive transitional pieces. You can find 1980 to Ds in circulation even today, but determining their true value takes a bit of numismatic know-how, a good scale, and a careful eye. So, whether you're just getting started or you've been collecting for decades, the 1980 to D Lincoln penny is a perfect example of why coin collecting is more than a hobby. It's a discovery of history, chemistry, and chance all rolled into one tiny, copper-plated circle.